This is Moon Knight number 11, The Killing Time, Part 1. Writer Jed MacKay, art by Alessandro Cappuccio, colors by Rochelle Rosenberg, friend of the show, letters by VC's Corey Pettit.
Everybody
Moon Knight was
aren't they?
betrayed and brutally beaten by his friend Terry, actually the supervillain Zodiac in disguise. After escaping, Zodiac abducted Moon Knight's therapist, Dr. Andrea Sturman, and secretly replaced her with Folger's crystals, the shapeshifter Waxman. The assassin Rutherford Winter, another patient of Dr. Sturman's, broke out of Ravencroft Institute and confronted Moon Knight, mistakenly believing he was involved with Sturman's kidnapping. After discerning the truth, an enraged Moon Knight exposed and defeated Waxman, savagely sealing him in cement. Along with Tiger and Winter, Moon Knight set out to rescue Dr. Sturman.
Here we go. And they end up where, I don't know, this actually, I like this issue. Kind of feels like things got like, hey, we better kind of step on the gas a little, but I didn't mind it.
Yeah, I think maybe it's all about the trade paperbacks, where now this will start off trade paperback number 3, so maybe they just didn't want to get too far into in the last one and kind of stop the story in the middle. Maybe that was it.
Now, with that, I do think that Zodiac's major plan is for Moon Knight to get back with Khonshu, which it seems to set that up in this. So I laugh
really?
because
I think it was the opposite of that.
Now I think that he wants, because that's what he was saying. I mean, in this, to me, Zodiac is playing out full out of a Batman Joker relationship,
sure. Exactly.
Of you're not as good as you can be. You're playing yourself less. You're not doing this. I think this is all a setup that he sets it up that the only way he can get out of this and get to where he's going is by using Khonshu himself.
I think he wants him to bust away from Khonshu as well as from his Avenger buddies.
He has. I mean, he does not talk to Khonshu. Khonshu's off. You end up having the Hunter's Moon is there because you're not talking to Khonshu. You're bullcrap. You're not the Fist anymore. And he has completely left Khonshu in jail, in prison in Asgard.
Yeah, I don't think Zodiac wants him to go back to Khonshu, though. I think he thinks that all this hero bit, the Avengers bit, the Khonshu bit, I think he thinks they're all crutches for Moon Knight, and he wants him to be just his own guy.
I don't think so, because Moon Knight without Khonshu isn't any guy. He's nothing. He's just a vigilante. That's what he's doing now. I mean, the idea that you're saying he doesn't want him to be on the Avengers, well, he attacked the Avengers, and they're actually spying on him, and they hate his guts, so he's not with them. If he wants him to get away from Khonshu, he already is. He's not anything with Khonshu, and he knows that.
But he's still trying to be on the up and up and, be a protector.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
He wants him to be the rip-the-face-off guy.
Well, to be the rip-the-face-off guy, I don't know that you do that by, being a villain that he's... I mean, he'll rip somebody's face off any step
I'm not saying
it's
a smart plan.
Yeah, no, I'm saying if you're thinking that he wants him to be an over-the-top hero... He already is.
No, he wants him to be an over-the-top, just chaos. Zodiac is all about the chaos.
I disagree, because in the last issue, he put a guy in cement and tortured him to do that. He's already that. I think
he
Zodiac
likes that part of Moon Knight. I don't think he wants to leave that. I think he wants him to go only into that.
Why would you push him to not be that then? Because that's what he's doing here. He's making it. He's set up. He knows that Moon Knight can't get to him in normal ways. He has to know that the only way that he could get there and save these people is by using Khonshu, especially getting the Hunter's Moon down and all that. We'll see. We'll see what it is. But the way that he's playing it out, this is the idea, like you said, of Joker saying you don't need Robins, you're better. You've got to be, the real Batman. I think that what he wants is him to get back to Khonshu, get rid of all these side characters that he's with, and just be the Moon Knight who... Again, Moon Knight isn't a guy who's a good guy. With Khonshu, he is just ripping people apart and being the worst of the worst. I mean, he's going to that Dr. Sturman to try to even get himself in check. I think that he's fully wants him back, and it's a book that you're going to get Khonshu back anyway. I think that's the play, but we'll see. Maybe I'm completely wrong. We'll have to see how this is, but Khonshu's back with him, at least helping him a little, and we'll see what that leads to.
Yep.
Yeah, so with that, though, and also Rutherford, he doesn't really have much to do here. They ended up getting him out to kind of do the Sturman thing, and now he's just kind of hanging in the background, which made me laugh. But there's some feels in this, and I do like this issue. I like the way that it plays out. It does show you that Zodiac has a plan.
The art, again, is really A+.
Yeah, it's good. And so all of this ends up kind of getting Moon Knight Mark on one side of the town. He's there, and I like that you think that he's going to go into the Midnight Mission, Zodiac, and you're like, oh man, it's over. He's going to go in there and he's done. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to go in there. It smells funny in there. And I'm like, oh, man, he knew better.
Oh, well.
But he's got his crew.
Yeah, so we've got these two locations. So he gets Moon Knight lured to this warehouse in New Jersey where always good things happen. And that's where Jigsaw is holding Sturman hostage. And the deal is that he wants Sturman to kill, or Jigsaw to kill Sturman, but only in front of Moon Knight.
In front of him.
So they do this trick where Moon Knight has Tigra dress up as himself so that it looks like Moon Knight's there, but then the real Moon Knight sneaks up behind Jigsaw. And, if I were Jigsaw in this situation, and I were holding Dr. Sturman hostage in a New Jersey warehouse waiting for Moon Knight, I think I'd have more lights on.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd have the one bare bulb.
Knight.
I want to be able to see all around me. I don't want anybody to be able to sneak up behind me because,
And the best is he's not hiding. Jigsaw has to be seen because the whole plan is you got to watch me kill her. So, yeah, light the whole place up.
Just one little pool of light in the middle of all this darkness. He
was all into it. He's into the mood lighting. He's like, I got to do this. But, yeah, so they're going to do that.
Doesn't go well for him.
Jigsaw looks horrible. I hate Jigsaw. But, yeah, with all that going on. So they saved
Dr. Sturman. Okay, that's good. But then it turns out that was mostly, he wanted to kill Dr. Sturman. It was mostly a diversion so that Jigsaw could get Reese alone in the Midnight Mission. And he wants her to come out so he can kill her. And if not, then he's going to start killing neighbors. And I don't know why the police aren't here yet, but I guess we just say, okay.
You just have to go with it. It's weird, and it's late, and they're busy.
Other Avengers, it's Hell's Kitchen, right? Daredevil should be around, Spider-Man, somebody.
Hey, he's fighting the hand. They're all at the funeral still. They're at the wake. That's what's happening. They're at the wake. Thunderbolts. I don't know. So you end up where he says, "Listen," and the funny thing is that Zodiac's right on Front Street here, where he goes, "Hey, Moon Knight, get this. I'm going to have Reese come out. And I'm going to kill her." Because I'm going to tell her if she doesn't come in, I'm going to kill everybody. But here, I'll give you a little tip here. I'm going to kill everybody. And Moon Knight knows this, tells Reese, but then Reese still is kind of like, I'm kind of torn. I don't know what to do. Soldier tries to stop her. And this is pretty good because we haven't gotten a ton of Reese, but I like her. And it's that connection that it is part of that idea of how nice Mark has been. And he has these people, even Soldier, who, turned on them, whatever, but is there. He tries to stop her and she, flashes the fangs. This is actually a nice little deal to remind people, all the characters, what they're up to, whatnot. Because even so, when I went to read this, it actually shocked me because I'm like, how long has this been since we talked about this book? It's only been delayed like 2 weeks or something, but it feels like longer for my in my mind. We had a couple
issues that were kind of tied in with Devil's Reign. We had the one-shotty stuff. So it kind of took a little detour, and now we're back to what seems to be the main story.
I do think that Jeb McKay does a pretty good job of putting some things in here. Because, again, Reese, she's there flashing the fangs. Okay, yeah, Soldier is actually, good guy. Don't go out there. Don't listen. Yeah. He's not going to end up.
Moon Knight tells Soldier, don't let her leave. And I'm thinking, she's a vampire.
I know.
He's an ex-Hydra soldier.
He's just an like Hydra Nazi guy, and he's not going to stop her. Maybe they were thinking that it could be. Also, one of the things is it's funny. You might want to I guess coming during the day might cause problems, but if you are getting a vampire, you might want to stack some odds. Like you got to come out because if she does, she's got to hide
It's more dramatic at night.
Yeah,
it's Moon Knight. Moon Knight can't be just wandering around during the day. He looks stupid.
And the funny thing is, the one thing about the art, and you said the art's good. Me and you have talked about, you like the art a lot more than I do, but I do like this art in this issue. When her necklace flung around, I'm like, I think he just spiked her in the side of the neck. That's the necklace.
Oh, yeah. Those weird triangle necklace and earrings, and yeah.
She kind of calms down and says, I got to do this. And Soldier says, Moon Knight's on his way. Just calm down. Let's, get this. Now, I do like this again as not just a recap. We're getting info that we kind of know, but you are going with Tiger, who says, listen, before we do this, I'm spying on you. I ended up that I was told by Black Panther to spy on you. I just want you to know. And he knows. And
Moon Knight is like, no duh. Of course you are.
Yeah. I mean, he says.
I don't know why Tigra took this particular moment to unburden herself of this. When Reese is about to be murdered.
They're all going to die or something.
I mean, Moon Knight just made this deal with Khonshu, who he's not getting along so well with. Says, open up, what is it called? The pathway. So this this really cool looking mystical pathway opens up, and right before they go in, they have to have this heart to heart. Like, Tigra, maybe
I thought they were going to start smooching. It was like that weird deal.
Weird timing. But that panel where they're looking into that pathway, that looks fantastic.
That looks awesome.
I hope we get a whole chunk the next issue of them running through this pathway and interacting with whatever weird crap is in there.
Yeah, and I like it even looks like they might even be holding hands kind of, but I think it's more the tail wrapped around with it. Actually, they are. I like the idea, though, that she says, listen, it is a weird deal. Like I said, it's almost like a little bit of recap, but done in a somewhat natural way. It's a little forced, the timing or whatnot, but when she says, hey, I've been spying on you, and he says, listen, you think I'm stupid? Black Panther is going to have somebody spy. Why not get one of my best friends to come and do that? Somebody I care about. And it really does give you that connection more than what we've even had before, actually. Just that real solid connection. Best friends, they get and so, they're there for each other. When usually these things happen is when I start really worrying, like, oh, Tiger's in big, big trouble, which she might be, but I don't think she'll die. But they're going to go through this deal. But I think that something is going to go where, maybe Moon Knight's going to have to make a decision, a little Sophie's Choice or something coming up. But you do have Zodiac with this gang of bad guys.
The Zodiac cartel.
Oh, look at them.
They look like rejected Inhumans is what they look like.
Crazy. You got Jason Voorhees there. If
you're going to get rejected on the Inhumans, you're going to be pretty bad.
That's lower tier is what you're saying. No, that's problem. The big thing was that the only way they can get there is to make a portal. The only way to get this portal deal is for Moon Knight to get a hold of Khonshu, who's in prison. Like, oh, it's kind of funny. It's like that call. Oh, you want to talk to me now, do you? What's up there, Moon Knight? No, I kind of need you. And he says, and again, I like the play of Mark here being the guy who knows what he's getting into, even when Tigra, hey, I've been spying on you. I knew you were doing that. I knew it all along. That makes him a good guy. But also when Khonshu says, there's these things, when we make these deals, you're going to owe me. And he's like, really? I know what's going on here. And that is him laying all of that. Some of the biggest things that he's tried to avoid just to go save Reese.
It's worth it to him. And the art and these pages, especially where he's talking to Khonshu and this very mystical, godlike stuff going on, it looks fantastic.
Now that I'm thinking too, here we go. I start going about Zodiac, right?
Sure.
Do you trust Hunter's Moon? Do you trust the guy? Because the weird play here...
I trust him to be true to his own mission, but I don't know that mission's going to align with Moon Knight all the time.
Because one of his big missions is to get Khonshu out of jail in Asgard and get things going again.
Yes.
Maybe this is a little bit of a setup as well from him. I don't know. He ends up where he's not dead. He is captured by Zodiac. That's one of the things. We have your Hunter's Moon here. Because remember, Mark says to Zodiac, well, you're going to have to deal with the Hunter's Moon. What do you see? Oh, you mean this guy here? He's tied up at my feet. He's there like, why didn't you kill him or whatnot? Maybe this is all a big scheme and it's all just to get Khonshu out of jail. Maybe we're going, and I'm centering on the idea of Mark. Maybe this is more of Khonshu, because even when Mark talks to Khonshu, holy crap, Khonshu is the hype man for Hunter's Moon a bit more too than for even Mark. Like, oh, that's my real fist. And that's it. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how all this plays out, because I don't know that I necessarily trust him fully, the Hunter's Moon. So we'll see. We'll see as a deal. And as a last bit, when you end up Mark coming off, and you do see that Zodiac looks
a little too shocked,
surprised,
a little too surprised.
That's what I'm saying.
I think they oversold that.
Well,
a bit.
I think he's overselling it.
You think he's being sarcastic?
I do. I think that this is all the play. I swear.
I hope so. I hope he's just acting, because otherwise the artist just drew him as way too surprised.
I think that it's supposed to be so over.
Zodiac should be pretty cool.
So with that, and calm, collected, really evil. Right. Now with that. My play here is just, it might be totally nonsense or whatever, but the way that you ended up taking down Jigsaw with that, hey, let's distract him here, but then the real Moon Knight's
the
behind.
Extra suit.
Right. I'm thinking that this whole thing happens, and then you end up having Hunter's Moon do the exact same thing on the opposite side. He's right behind him, and like,
maybe
now
so.
I'm
The
here.
deal here is that Soldier had a plan to, stall things a little bit, because they have to go out, otherwise neighbors are going to start to die. Yeah, and you can't have that. So Reese goes out, but she says, "I'm not alone." And we have what's obviously Soldier in yet another Moon Knight suit. This is the suit, the jacket and tie version. And he's out there saying, "Hey, Zodiac, nice night." So they're doing the same trick that just happened with the other subset of the team over in New Jersey, which I don't know. Is that clever, or is that
I don't know.
just
it's like the whole,
not so
it's
clever?
Like the Thor putting the hammer on the Hulk again. I
Right,
think that
do it
this
again.
is going to cause more problems. And actually, it might be the idea of, what? No way. How? I know it's you, soldier. You're dead. And then goes
That
after
would
him.
be
But
cool.
then you have Mark. Then boom, he comes through because he doesn't expect
The
it.
more obvious thing to happen is that this little ruse delays them a little bit
So that Mark can get there.
Mark can get through
Yeah.
the pathway
And then I
show
like
up for
the
real.
idea. I mean, you have Tiger coming through to help, but Tiger's going to be there probably to just take care of the
goons.
cartel while you have Mark and Zodiac go at it. So we'll see. We'll see. There's a couple things that it could be. But pretty good, though. I actually did enjoy it. I had some fun with it. I thought that Mark, knowing everything going on, even accepting the idea of the worst thing, Khonshu, just to save Reese, Reese is Reese. I like Reese. We don't have her a ton in here. She's a vampire. He's protecting her, all that. But he's really stepping it up for just her. And I think that, again, when I said about Zodiac acting like the idea of the Joker, she kind of is like a Robin type, but he has a bunch of them here. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. What would you give it?
Yeah, I like this a lot. As I've said a bunch of times, I think the art is one of the best art we're getting out of Marvel these days. I like the way this is tying in with the whole Khonshu story and the magic bit and using the side characters well. I'm glad we're back to Zodiac, even though I don't really like the whole, I'm going to make you your best version of yourself, because we've seen that a whole bunch of times, but okay, we'll go with that. But yeah, overall, I think this is a really fun book, and I'm giving it 8.3 out of 10.
8.5. I'm positive this week. And
definite positive.
It's a funny thing about this book, because I'd like to say that this is like, oh man, this is going under the radar, or this is a book that but it sells great. It gets rave reviews, but yet I never hear people talking about it except the day it comes out. I never hear anybody else afterwards talking about it.
At least it's not being sucked into some giant Moon Knight event, because we don't need that. So I'm happy with it being allowed to be its own thing and its own single series, and let Jed MacKay tell the story.
Yeah, I like it.
And don't mess with it like they'd messed with his
it reminds me, I'm starting to, I don't like it as much as the original Black Cat, but even that, I really enjoy. But you'd never hear any, this book sells great. It has to have shocked. Now we have a TV show that was out and whatever, but it has to be a pleasant surprise for Marvel to have how much the sales were. But yet I only, like I said, I'll see people they'll say, hey, here's my pull list this week. Moon Knight's there. Oh man, how is it? Oh, it's awesome. And then I never hear about it again for a month.
This doesn't generate the controversy that some
it's
other books
under
do.
the radar, but still is huge, right?
A straightforward, good superhero.
It's a good book. That's
semi-hero book.
Basically it. It's a good book. It reminds me of even something over a Nightwing that, I have some issues with. But each issue you get what you want. The characters are strong, whatever. It's like Flash at DC as well. But there's not a lot of books like this at Marvel. You really have that Marvel deal. It's like the real hype and then the nothing at all. And this is just kind of the middle. I hear some things when it comes out, but not much else. But it's really good. It's a solid book to have on your pull list, even if you don't really like Moon Knight so much. It's still a solid read.